Students, today I will start Unit 2 Solution. This unit divided into 8 parts. Today I will discuss part 1 of Unit 2 Solution. First of all, you have to know that which topics you have to study in this chapter. These topics are types of solutions, expression of concentration of solution of solid in liquids, that's are percentage concentration, ppm, mole fractions, molarity and molality. Then solubility of gas in liquid. Here you have to learn about the Henry law of solubility of gas in liquid, solid solutions, Raoult's law. Then most important topics, colligative properties. From this properties, one numerical of 3 marks is asking nearly every board examinations. That's why this topic is most important. These properties are relative lowering of vapor pressure of solvent, elevation of boiling point of solvent, depression of freezing point of solvent, and the osmotic pressure of solution. Then you have to know determination of molecular mass using colligative properties. Then abnormal molar mass, and last Van 't Hoff factor. If the molecule dissociates or associate in the solutions. So this topic are covered in 8 parts of Unit 2. In part 1, after studying, you will be able to define solution, solute, solvent, miscible and immiscible liquid. Then describe the formation of different types of solutions. After that, express concentration of solution in different units. Here I only focus on percentage concentration. Now starting from the solution, how we define the solution. As the chapter name is also indicate that you have to know everything about the solution in this chapter. So that's why we have to know what is solution. Solution basically made up of two components, solute and solvent. It is a single phase system, that is a monophasic system. It may be defined as a homogeneous mixture of two or more chemically non-reacting substance is known as solution. Here you can take example of sugar plus water. Sugar behave as solute and water behave as solvent. Both are non-reacting, and after mixing of sugar in water, it forms single phase, that is liquid phase, and the mixture become homogeneous. Now the constituent of solution cannot be separated by filtration, sedimentation or centrifugation. This experiment you can do at your home. Dissolve some sugar in water and take the test of every sip of that solution. Every sip have the same taste. That's why the solution is homogeneous, and you can filter the solution. Then no solute particles seen on the filter. The filtrate also have same taste. That indicate a solution constituent cannot be separated by filtration. Again, by homogeneous mixture we mean that its composition and properties are uniform, that is a single phase throughout the mixture. So these are basic things you have to know about the solution. Now solvent. The most or universal solvent is, you know that, water. How can you define the solvent? The component which is present in larger amount and determines the physical state of the solution is called solvent. That is, if you have taken water in liquid form and dissolve solid sugar, so now the solution look like liquid. That's why the water is solvent. Now you have to know about the solute, the component which is present in lesser amount or whose physical state is changed during the formation of solution is called solute. Here when you dissolve sugar, which is solid form of sugar, in water, now the solid form change into liquid. That's why sugar behave as solute. The size of solute particles in the solution is of the order in diameter 10 to the power 7 to 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter, or less than 1 nanometer in diameter, or 0.001 micrometer. Now some more common term which are generally used in this chapter. So this common chapter I also want to explain you polar solvent. Here the polar, you think about the chemical bonding, covalent bonding. Covalent bonding is two type, polar and non-polar. So polar means the shifting of electron pair towards more electronegative elements. In a covalent bond generate two type of polarity, negative and positive. That's why the bond is known as polar covalent bond. The chemical bonding chapter is also helpful to understand unit second. The common polar solvents are water, ethanol, acetic acid, acetone. The formula of these solvent you have to know. Then non-polar solvent, the common example is carbon tetrachloride. In case of CCl4, the bond is polar, but as a molecule it is non-polar because the dipole moment value is 0. Toluene used in the paint thinner, hexane, heptane, octane, benzene, oil. These are example of non-polar solvent. Then binary solution. Name indicate binary, the solution made up of two components. It may be defined as a solution consisting of two components is known as binary solution. Example, salt plus water, sugar plus water. And in this chapter you have to only read about the binary solution. Then ternary solution, as the name indicates, ternary, that means three components. Quaternary may be four components. So ternary solution may be defined as a solution consisting of three components is known as ternary solution. The most common example we are used in the houses, salt plus sugar plus water. Now two more terms you have to know which are come in chemistry so many times: aqueous solutions and non-aqueous solution. Here aqueous means water, non-aqueous means solvent other than water. So if solvent is water, solution formed is aqueous solution. The common example is salt plus water. If the solvent is other than water, the solution is known as non-aqueous solution. The common example is tincture of iodine. It is a type of antiseptics. Here iodine dissolved in alcohol, that form tincture of iodine. Here alcohol is a solvent, that's why it is example of non-aqueous solution. Now some more terms you have to know: miscible, immiscible and partially miscible liquids. So now miscible liquid means those liquids which are completely soluble in each other in all proportions. The common example is ethanol and water, as both contains H bonded, that's why it's soluble in each other in all proportions. One more example, benzene plus toluene, both are non-polar solvent, that's why they dissolve each other in all proportions. So these type of liquid are called miscible liquid. Next, immiscible, as the name indicate, they form different separate layers. So that may be defined as immiscible liquids are not soluble in each other, that is form distinct separate phases. The common example is gasoline, that is petrol plus water. Water is polar but gasoline is non-polar, that's why they form separate layer. Benzene plus water, water plus methyl chloride, these are the other example of immiscible liquids. Then in a partially miscible liquid, the common example is, which are also be used in the homes, phenol plus water. Here the intermolecular attraction of one liquid is different from intermolecular attraction of other liquids, that's why they not completely dissolve and hence called as partially miscible liquid. Ether and also water is example of partially miscible liquid. Now, type of solution. Basically, on the basis of solvent, there are three types, that is liquid solution, solid solution and gaseous solution. But also on the nature of solute, they are of 9 types. So depending upon the nature of solute and solvent, solution classified as follows. First, gaseous solution. Here the solution in which gas acts as solvent, or you can say that gas are in larger amount, that's why the solution look like gas, and hence this is example of gaseous solution. Some examples are given below in the table, you can see this. Solute should be gas, liquid or solid, but solvent here always gas. So first example, gas solute and gas solvent. The common example is air, mixture of oxygen and nitrogen. Second, liquid solute and gas solvent, chloroform mixed with nitrogen. Here nitrogen is gas and chloroform is liquid. One more example, water vapor in air, that is known as humidity. Now third, solid, solute and gas solvent, camphor in the nitrogen gas. One more example, iodine vapor in the air. These are the example of solid into gas. Second, liquid solution. Solution in which liquids are present in larger amount, that is act as solvent. Here solvent are liquid and solute may be gas, liquid or solid. The examples are given in the table. Gas in liquid, common example, oxygen dissolved in water, aerated drinks, that is cold drinks. Liquid in liquid, ethanol dissolved in water. Solid in liquid, salt or glucose or sugar dissolved in water. These are the example of liquid solutions. Next, solid solution. solution in which solids are present in larger amount, that is solids act as solvent. Again here solvents are solid, but solute may be gas, liquid or solid. The examples are given in the table. Look again. Gas in solid, common example, solution of hydrogen in palladium, Pd. This is also used in the hydrogen economy. Liquid in solid, amalgam of mercury with sodium. Amalgam indicate mercury with other metal. Solid, the common examples are alloys, just like a brass, bronze, German silver. One more common example, copper dissolved in gold. So these are the examples of solid solutions. Next, solid solutions are also two types. One, substitutional solid solution. It is example of alloys. Solid elements which are quite similar in atomic size. That means the size not differ from each other, can mutually substitute one another in the crystal lattice. This gives solid solution. The common examples are alloys, silver and copper alloys. Look the diagram. Solute shown in the dark circle and solvent by the white circle. So here solute substitutes solvent. Due to similar sizes. Hence, this type of solid solutions are known as substitutional solid solution. Next, interstitial solid solutions. This word also came in the chapter 1, interstitial sides or voids. Here, the void occupied by small elements. That's why the solid solution is known as interstitial solid solution. In this type of solid solution, smaller atoms are accommodated in the voids, empty space or interstices of the solid having bigger atom. Transition elements have a very strong tendency to combine with atoms of relatively small size to form interstitial compounds. Some examples are carbides and hydrides. One common example is tungsten carbide, WC, is a very hard substance used for cutting and grinding. Now look the diagram. Here the voids are occupied by solute. As the void is known as interstitial sides, so that's why this type of solution is also known as interstitial solid solution. So these examples you have to fit in the mind. That are useful in the coming chapter also. Now we have to know the expressing concentration of solution. This is basically two types, one qualitatively and second quantitatively. Here we have to focus about the quantitatively, that means amount. How we find the amount? So first you have to know about the concentration in percentage. It is basically three types: weight by weight by volume, or volume by volume. So first we have to focus on percentage by mass, weight by weight of a component. If nothing is given, so you have also always use this percentage. So percentage mass weight by weight of a component equal to mass of component in the solution in gram divided by total mass of solution in gram and multiply by 100. For example, if written 10% W by W glucose or NaCl solution, so this means कि 10 gram of glucose dissolve in 90 gram of water to give 100% of 100 gram of solution. If 20% are written here, so 20 plus 80, that means 20 gram dissolve in 80 gram of water to give the 100 gram of solution. Note, commonly used in the industrial chemical application. For example, commercial bleaching solution contain 3.62 mass percentage of sodium hypochlorite in water. One more thing you have to notice again, if nothing is given, so you have to think about the W by W. For example, if written only 10% glucose solution, so you have to focus about the 10 gram in 90 gram. Next, percentage by volume. Volume by volume of a component. This is equal to volume of component in ml divided by volume of solution in ml into 100. Here example, 10% ethanol solution in water means both are volume. So that's why 10 ml of ethanol dissolve in 90 ml of water so that the solution become 100 ml. Note, solution containing liquid are commonly expressed in this unit. For example, a 35% volume by volume solution of ethylene glycol and antifreeze. It is antifreeze agent is used in the car for cooling the engines. At this concentration, the antifreeze lower the freezing point of water to 255.4 Kelvin or minus 17.6 degrees centigrade. These antifreeze used in that country which have sub-zero weather. In that condition, the water is freezes. That's why we have to add this type of chemical to avoid freezing of water. So this can be expressed in volume by volume percentage. Next, percentage by mass by volume. This equal to mass of solute in gram divided by volume of solution in ml multiply by 100. Here example, 10% W by B means 10 gram of solute dissolve in 90 ml of water so that the solution is 100 ml. Note, this type of percentage commonly used in medicine and pharmacy. So dear student, listen this lecture carefully and then go to the NCERT book and read the topics thoroughly and try to do some question based on this. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy and keep learning.